Could I ask Tom Brake from Sutton to stand by, and now call Greg Foxsmith from Islington to oppose Amendment 1.
The secret court proposals in the Justice and Security Bill suggest the word security has been given more weight than the word justice. Shami Chakrabarti said earlier today that this was the bill the Securocrats would have written whoever had won the election. Conference, can you remember any previous examples of what happens when our elected representatives are seduced by or overly reliant upon the security agencies and those that provide intelligence? It was 10 years ago this week that Tony Blair presented an intelligence report on Iraq's weapons of mass destruction. The Liberal Democrats were sceptical in Parliament, arguing the United Nations weapons inspectors should be given more time. The report is now universally known as the dodgy dossier, but the security agencies have no shortage of other measures on their shopping list, and this bill is one of them. I was proud of Liberal Democrat opposition 10 years ago, and I've been very proud of Liberal Democrat support for civil liberties measures when we were in opposition. This is a big test to see whether we can still support civil liberties now that we're in government. The motion before you is clearly written and easy to understand. It's based on a simple premise: no to secret courts. The amendment is less easy, the final paragraph in particular, virtually meaningless. If it looks like fudge, it probably is a fudge. Let's be clear, it's virtually a wrecking amendment. If you support open justice, vote for the motion unamended. Because, Conference, this amendment is a classic sleight of hand, and arguments in its support rely upon softly spoken, perhaps patronising assertions that the security services know best, coupled with a few reassuring platitudes that it will only be used rarely or in exceptional circumstances or with certain safeguards. Let's go back to Blair. It's exactly the sort of argument that New Labour used to deploy each and every time they rolled out one of their illiberal bills that eroded our freedoms or qualified our liberty. This is one of those bills, Conference, we can do better. Otherwise, it would suggest that no matter who you vote for, Big Brother always gets in. The bill is more about protecting government from bad publicity and embarrassment than national security. As the motion suggests, secret courts were not in the Liberal Democrat manifesto, understandably. They're not in the coalition agreement, and, Conference, they're not in our make-up. I'm proud that Liberal Democrats have done much in Parliament already to reverse some of Labour's illiberal measures and stood up for civil liberties. I'm proud the Liberal Democrats have stopped the state retaining DNA from suspects proved innocent. But, Conference, you don't need a DNA database to tell who in this hall has liberal democracy ingrained in their genetic makeup. You can just watch how people vote on this motion. Protecting civil liberties is in our DNA. It's part of what makes us Liberal Democrats. There is no place in a democracy for secret courts. Hearings are in public to ensure accountability, and justice must be open to avoid miscarriages of justice. Secret justice is no justice. Vote for the motion unamended.
Thank you, Greg. Would Robin Meltzer from Kensington and Chelsea please stand by, and then I'll call